Good evening, friends, and welcome you all to this session. I acknowledge you for taking out time and joining us on this cold winter evening. Those of you who are joining from Delhi, NCR, or North would understand what I am talking about. For rest of you, it may not be so cold, but here in Delhi, NCR, it's very cold. So I really appreciate your taking out time in this cold weather and joining us. You could have been there anywhere sipping hot cup of tea and enjoying hot pakoras, but you have taken out time to join us. So really appreciate that. And we will do our best to make this session, make this investment of time worthwhile for you. The duration of the session would be about 90 to 120 minutes. So we will finish somewhere around 6:15 to 6:30. So please block your time accordingly. In my work with in the area of mindfulness, what I get to hear a lot from people is that that they are very anxious, they are stressed, there is anxiety about uncertain. There is a lot of uncertainty, and people are trapped in a low energy level. How many of you would like to shift from a low energy level to a high energy level? If you would like to shift to a high energy level, please type yes or Y in the chat box. Thank you, thank you. That looks like a lot of yes. I'm sure this is a chart from Dr. David Hawkins, from his book Power versus Force. And Dr. David Hawkins has done an amazing job in putting numbers to the energy levels of the emotions that we have. And as you can see, there are low energy levels associated with some emotions and high energy levels associated with some other emotions. And the low energy ones are, shame, guilt, apathy, grief, till about courage. And courage is that point where we move from the low energy level to the high energy level. And that is what we are going to be talking about, how to change the orbit of your life and move to the next level. And 2020 was a rough year for many of us. And through the sessions that I did, I kept hearing about the many challenges that people are facing. And this was an initiative that I launched at the suggestion of my friend, very dear friend, Mr. Tushar Rastogi, who is also here as a part of this session here, from moving from dirt to the dream, from moving from surviving to thriving. And we conceived a 8-week program where we are covering different topics on how people can move from fear to living their dreams. And before I share my 2 strategies which I use and which you can also deploy, I would like to take a minute to introduce mindful living to you. Some of you are joining us for the first time, and I would like to share with you that I started mindful living in 2018. Prior to starting mindful living, I worked in the corporate sector for about 25 years in senior management roles across life insurance, health insurance, and healthcare sectors. I started mindful living with a mission to help 1 million people live healthier, happier, and wealthier lives. In the last 2 years, we have conducted over 150 sessions for leading organizations like Tata Group, Times of India, IBM, CII, Power Grid Corporation, EXL, and many more. We are regularly invited by insurance companies, colleges, and universities to talk to their clients and employees. And with that brief introduction, I'll move on to talk about the number 1 strategy that I personally use and is being used by many people, which is from moving from low energy state to a high energy state to change the orbit of our life. And this practice is a practice of gratitude. It is a very simple practice. One of the things I often get asked or I get pushed back on in my sessions is, we are very busy. how can we, incorporate mindfulness? How can we incorporate gratitude, practicing gratitude in our lives when we already have so much to do? And this is one practice which takes less than a minute. So I would request you to join me in practicing this lotus of gratitude, a practice I learned from Mr. Nitya Shanti. We start by putting our hands like this. जैसे कीचड़ में से लोटस उगता है, वैसे ही हमारे नेगेटिव इमोशन से हम जब ग्रेटिट्यूड का लोटस उगाते हैं तो इट कैन टेक अस अप. And what we need to do is close our eyes and think of one thing that we are grateful for. And as we do that, you can open your finger. Listen to me first, and then you can start practicing it. So maybe you can say that whatever comes to your mind. For me, it is, I'm grateful that I am alive. I'm grateful that you have joined us for this session. I'm grateful that I have got good air to breathe. I have got food to eat. I have got my family members with me. And as you go by, thinking of things which you are grateful for, just keep opening. And at the end of a minute or so, when you have thought of all the things, that 10 things that you're grateful for, you would have a nice lotus. So I invite you to join me in this exercise. Close your eyes and think of one thing that you are grateful for. And as you feel that, please open one finger, and at the end, you will have a lotus. We start now. And once you are done with your 10, please put both your hands to your heart and feel gratitude for planet Earth. Planet Earth sustains us in all the ways. It provides us with the food that we eat, provides us with the water that we drink. It has the oxygen that we need. And once you've felt gratitude for Earth, feel how it feels in your heart. Gratitude is a heart energy. And then maybe you can fold your hands. And once you are comfortable, you can open your eyes. I'll request everybody to mute themselves, please. So this is a very simple yet very powerful practice. And once we are grateful, then we can't be stressed. It's difficult, or rather impossible, to be stressed and fearful when we are feeling grateful. So this is a very powerful practice, and it has benefited me a lot, and it's benefited a lot of people who practice it regularly. The second strategy is taking responsibility for our lives, living our lives on a purpose, and create our life consciously rather than sleepwalk through it. Many people don't set goals. As per a study done by Harvard Business Review, there are only 3% people who set goals. There are another 13% who have goals, but they don't have written down goals. And balance 84% have no goals. They just drift through life. And the difference in the income of people who don't have goals to the ones who have written down goals is not small. It's not 1%, 10%, 100%. It is 30 times. So there is big power in leading a life of purpose, in setting goals and working towards them. And with that objective, we launched the Dare to Dream program, which comprises of 8 sessions, wherein we talk about setting goals in the area of financial wellness. And these were the sessions we did on 2nd and 9th January with Mr. Avdesh Nagar. And the recording of these sessions is available. All these sessions, Dirt Se Dream Tak original launch session and the Financial Peace program is all available on our YouTube channel. We will be sharing the link of the YouTube channel in the chat box. If you are not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to it and you can go and see all our videos there. Today's session and the session on next Saturday is with Astha Diwan. She's a renowned psychologist and a trainer. I'm going to talk a little bit more about her as we go along. Then with Manoj Nair, he's my guru who taught me how to set goals and achieve them. Then we're going to have 2 sessions on physical health, setting health goals. Dr. Gagan Kapoor was earlier the physiotherapist of Indian national football team, and he's going to come and talk to us about home ergonomics. A lot of people working from home have, developed pain in the neck, lower back, and having many other issues. So he's going to talk about the right posture and some exercises that we can do to be healthy. What are the changes we can do to our furniture, home furniture, and then we will have Amrita come and talk to us about sleep. A lot of people are having issues with sleeping. So what are the yoga pranayam that we can do, and why sleep is very important? What are the things we can do to sleep better is what is going to talk, Amrita is going to talk to us about. And the last session is going to be an extremely powerful one, which is about mindset of success by Dr. Nupur Agrawal. And she's going to be talking about our beliefs and how some of the beliefs that we have can sabotage our own success. So she's going to be talking about self-sabotage and our beliefs, being conscious of our beliefs. So that's going to be the session that will be on 19th of February or 20th of February, if I got my date right. And with that, I will now like to invite Astha to take the session forward. She's going to talk about changing our lives orbit, moving from a low energy level to a high energy level. Astha is a renowned psychologist and trainer. When I put out the invite for today's session in one of our groups, immediately the response I got was, "Oh wow, you have Astha coming and talking to talking to the group. She's an amazing trainer and she's an amazing person." So we are very, very happy to have Astha here. She is the founder of MBS Wellness, and she has worked in management development roles in a leading insurance company, a top insurance company in India. Before she started out on her own, she now consults organizations and individuals on their strategies. So with that, Astha, I invite you and request you to take the session forward.
Thank you so much, Ashish. It's a lovely introduction, and I've been wanting to get started and speak to the group of people. We are already feeling very positive energy. In fact, thank you for that gratitude exercise that you did, because I am feeling very, very positive and very energetic at this point of time. Because whenever you're starting off something, a session like that, there is a kind of a bit of nervous energy which is there, and I am feeling so nice with that. Thanks. And you've set the context for our session, right? I would just like to correct one thing. I am right now not a psychologist. I am
Okay, okay.
pursuing psychology, and I'm going to be a psychologist soon. But then I like to quickly share with you all that I can proudly say that I've been working in the people development industry for last 20 years now. And I started way back in 2001 when I started with Genpact. Then I worked with Tata AIG and Max Life till 2013 when I decided to independently work as a trainer and coach with various organizations and also establish my own practice. So I of course and because this is a field of understanding people, so I have done a lot of psychometric assessments, so which is what helps me understanding people better. I'm a certified coach as well. I have certified certifications for emotional intelligence, which we are going to be talking about today. And in this way forward, I will be a psychologist also soon, which is what would come in my way in this year. So that's quick about myself, everyone. Um, and I'm sure you're all very eager to know that what is that we are going to talk about today. Yeah. So I'm going to quickly share my slides. Yeah. So that we can get started without any further ado. But I can tell you one thing for sure. Whatever we do today, you will surely be able to get answers of a lot of whys that we have. That is one thing I can assure you. Because I know that in 2020, the year was such that it created a lot of whys. Why are we having a lot of stress? Why suddenly the rush of emotions, right? Why there is this uneasiness or irritability? Yeah. So there are a lot of whys that came in. And in fact, when we rolled on about the topic in the group, Ashish told me that a lot of people actually shared that, what are the things that they would like to get an answer for, and that is what I will try and do in this session today for all of you. So let me start sharing my slides, and I will take you through this journey. All my programs are like a journey, and that is how it's like a story that I'm going to weave, and with the help of this story, I'm sure we are going to learn a lot of things. Yeah. So let me just put this on the slideshow, and we can get started. Hope all of you are able to see the screen as well. I mean, you're able to see my
Yes,
presentation.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So great. Alrighty. So let's get started. And if there is anything that is in your mind, see, the purpose is that we create it as an interactive session, as something which is not just a one-way download from my side. So do put your question in the chat box. If I will not be able to take it immediately, I will surely take it towards the end of the session. And if it would be possible to take it in between, I will do that as well. Yeah. So with that, and of course, I am so glad that a lot of you have your cameras on, because it just makes the person who is on the other side feel connected to you, because we can see you as well. But if there is an issue of bandwidth or something, we definitely take that call yourself. Yeah. So great, let's get started. So the name of this session and the topic that we're going to be talking about is, how can you change your life's orbit? And I'm sure it will intrigue you that what do we mean by changing the life's orbit, and I'll talk to you about it. But it will happen by taking today a journey within you, right? So today we are going to take a journey within you, understanding how our mind works, understanding how our emotions work, right? So that is what we are going to be doing today. So what is going to be our objective? So today's objective really is that, what is this phenomenon which is called emotional intelligence? We've been hearing this across, and I'm sure somewhere or the other it has come to your notice as well, your focus as well, that what is emotional intelligence. And I'm sure a lot of you have actually got curious with that and have decided to join in today. And how can it change our life? So how is it connected to changing life and changing our mindset? And how can we become emotionally intelligent? So these are the three things that we are going to be talking about today, but we will not start right from there, because it's important first to understand कि हम जो आज हैं, the person who we are, how have we come here? How have we become this person, right? Because we all have emotions, and we all have certain emotions which are very strong, and certain emotions that are not very strong in us. So it's very important to understand that what is the level that we are at right now. Yeah. So how we will understand that is, and also, I would say that if we become emotionally intelligent, so again, I'm playing the what we call is the adult learning principles with you, that why should you really understand it? Because if we become emotionally intelligent, we will be able to achieve a higher professional excellence. Lots of times we are professionally very successful, but we are still not very happy, right? So you will be able to attain pure happiness. You'll understand that what is that makes you happy, and also lead a balanced and purposeful life. So this is where I said that Ashish has really set the context of this session, because he said that yes, purpose, in having a purpose in life, is very important. So you will today understand that how emotionally we can be intelligent to be able to achieve this, which seems like very difficult to achieve. It seems like, oh, these are just talks और बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं actually, but actually क्या ये ऐसा हो भी सकता है, right? So that's the question that comes to our mind. So now, before we go ahead, I want to share with you, what do I mean by changing your life's orbit? Why is this session or this program? In fact, this is just an introductory session, but this program that I have, which is called Changing Your Life's Orbit. So each one of us know that there is a nucleus and then there are orbits around the nucleus. You can put it in the chat box as well if you agree with me. Let me just open sorry, the chat box as well. Okay, I think I am missing the chat box somewhere.
It's there. Yeah.
Yeah, I would just do a more and I will get the chat as well. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, what do you guys have to say? I'm sure each one of us have heard of this concept, which is called, the concept of orbit. There is a nucleus and then there are electrons that are hovering around that nucleus in a certain orbit. So there are some electrons that can be in the first orbit, some in the second orbit, some in the third, or some in the fourth, right? Now tell me something, that if an electron has to change its orbit, yeah, if an electron has to change its orbit, what is that has to be done to change the orbit? Can somebody tell me? And I have the chat box right in front of me, and I will stop talking for a second or for a few seconds, and I want to hear from you. So हमने साइंस में पढ़ा है ये कि जब इलेक्ट्रॉन को अपना ऑर्बिट चेंज करना होता है तो कुछ होता है which changes the orbit.
I don't think we have any science students here.
I can't see anything in the chat box. Come on, guys. What do you don't? Yeah. So somebody is saying, Kaumya is saying, Kusuma is saying energy. Absolutely, yes, energy. And this energy is can yeah acquire more energy. Absolutely, Sanjeev. Acquire more energy. I want you to say, write some more thoughts. Let's take one or two more views from some of you. Yeah, energy, acquire more energy. Is this energy internal or external? Yeah, Gangesh, I can see you typing something. Okay, internal. Okay. All right. So yes, so there is definitely, so any electron cannot change its orbit till the time there is an extra energy, extra power, or extra push which comes to it. We can call it definitely energy, but that's the push that it gets to change the orbit, to get to the next orbit. And that is exactly, and that can be internal or external, but yes, generally it is external, right? Because that is how it is. It just changes the orbit, because this is an extra power that that electron gets to be able to change the orbit. Now this is exactly what we are talking about here. To change our life's orbit, we also need to change our mind's orbit. We need to change the thought process. We need to change how can okay, what is happening on my slide? I can see some uh okay, there's something somebody has written, which is I think external, right? Is what we like to write here. Okay, so basically
Yeah.
what we mean is that today, if you also have to change your life's orbit, we all are going around in a particular kind of orbit. There is an orbit. We, each one of us, might be in a different orbit, as we might be at a different stage of our life. So our orbit might be different. There are orbits of emotions, like, are we able to handle our stress right now? Are we able to handle our emotions right now? Are we happy in our professional life right now? So we might be in an orbit, but we all want to get to the next orbit. And to be able to change your life's orbit, there has to be an external energy. There has to be an extra energy. I'm not just saying external, internal also, but then there has to have that push and that energy that has to come in to, or and that awareness that has to come in to help you change the orbit. And that is what is the purpose of this discussion that we will be having today, and also the program that we have, which is what is the change of orbit. So now let's understand how would this orbit change happen, right? That is what is, I'm sure each one of you has the question. But before that, let's understand our life a little better. Okay, so now this is a iceberg model which beautifully explains, स्पिरिचुअलिटी के लेवल से थोड़ा नीचे बात कर रही हूँ. आई एम टॉकिंग टू यू on a mind level right now. Yes, there is a soul level, spirituality level, gratitude level, mindfulness level that we eventually reach. But पहले जो ये bottleneck है ना हमारा जो mind, which itself creates a lot of bottleneck. Let us first address this actually. So if you see, we in the iceberg what happens is, ऊपर आइसबर्ग के ऊपर जो है वो जो हमें दिखता है, दैट इज आवर बिहेवियर, राइट? कि हम कैसे किसी के साथ बिहेव करते हैं. आर वी हैप्पी और नॉट, और हाउ आर वी फीलिंग, एंड आर वी motivated or not, do we the way we talk is absolutely balanced or not. So all of this is behavior, but below it is all of this which you see, which is um, just one second. There is a coming call. Ashish, is there a issue? Ashish, I can't hear you.
We had lost you in between.
Okay. So is the so okay? Sorry, I'm very sorry, but am I audible now?
Yeah, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, all right. So guys, I am actually logged in on two devices on my phone, and because the voice and everything is very clear from my phone. So that is why sometime maybe you are losing the voice, but do let me know if it happens again. All right, so again coming back, that we all what we today are basically from, has been getting constructed through our childhood. So the kind of experiences we had in childhood, and that made our belief system. For example, I'll give you an example here, that if let's say some of you had some friends who did not accept you, or who were not supportive of you. So the belief that gets made is that people are not very supportive. I need to fight out to get support from people. And also it parents have a very important role to play in actually forming beliefs and emotions. So if you had parents who understood you, or they gave you ample time, or if they even if they gave you time, but were you emotionally connected to them? So it all depends upon then how your behavior comes out. Maybe you had a father who was very strong, very strict, and you did not feel emotionally connected to him, but you had a mother who you felt very connected to. So this is how all the experiences that you've had in your life since childhood till 18 years of age is what forms your behavior today, and it what forms your personality today, right? And of course, on the basis of these beliefs, these thoughts, our emotions are made, right? So we are basically trying to understand कि आज हम जो हमारे emotions हैं, ये जो emotional intelligence का हमारा quotient है, वो किस basis पे बना है, right? What are the basis? And we will go further deep into it, and we will understand it better. But just remember one thing: behavior, what you are today, your personality, is deep rooted below, because of the beliefs, the thoughts, and the emotions that you have, right? That is what I and experiences that you've had. Now I like to also tell you that where is the warehouse? Where is all of this stored? All these emotions, all these experiences, all the beliefs, they are stored in our subconscious mind. And I'm sure I'm not telling you something new when I tell you this, because our emotions, are all the experiences are shared as memories in a pictorial form. Yeah, it is there in a pictorial form, and those pictures are all stored in the what you call the subconscious mind. Yeah. So guys, give me just 1 second. Yeah, just give me 1 second. All right. So now let's coming back to what we were talking about, that where is the warehouse? So warehouse is where all your memories are stored. So warehouse is your subconscious mind where all your memories are stored, and that is where we have to work upon. So whenever we work with change in your life, whenever you would work in whatever change you want to bring to your life, you will have to work on the subconscious mind, and we'll learn how to work on the subconscious mind as well. So conscious mind is only a very small part of what we are. It is just what you can say is, जैसे जब हम कंप्यूटर की बात करते हैं, तो कंप्यूटर का जो रैम होता है, जहां से सारे कमांड्स दिए जाते हैं और डिसीजंस दिए जाते हैं, वो डिसीजंस जो है वो आपके हार्ड डिस्क में होते हैं, जो सब कुछ स्टोर होता है वो हार्ड डिस्क में होता है, विच इज योर सबकॉन्शियस माइंड. बट द कमांड्स आर कमिंग एंड गोइंग फ्रॉम द conscious mind. So conscious mind is just like a slave of the subconscious mind, right? So that is what I meant here. So now let us understand that what are the kind of beliefs that we have. Yeah, and I want to invite you in this discussion now. So what are the kind of beliefs that we have? So we have beliefs about our own self. Yeah, so if I were to ask you, and if you were to write a belief about your own self, can you quickly write that? What is your belief about your own self? Yeah, let me see if we are all on the same page and you are with me here. Something happens that I yeah, the chat box is back. Yeah. All right, so I'm here. I'm looking forward to your responses, everyone. That what do you think is one of the beliefs that you would like to share with me? Yeah. So am I audible, guys?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I can see that somebody is saying a constant learner. I'm a very emotional person and sensitive person. Okay, very nice. Life is beautiful. Now, this is not a belief about your own self. This is, overall your belief about life, overall about society in general. But yes, so but if we talk about the other beliefs that have been talked about, like I am a good learner or I am an emotional person, these are beliefs very very specific about your own self. Absolutely. Now, then we have beliefs about others, right? Okay, somebody is saying I'm cute and smart. I'm so glad that you feel that about moody. Okay, Sarvan is saying moody. Yes. So these are definitely beliefs about your own self. And this is exactly why I have written something here, which are limiting beliefs and empowering, beliefs. So there can be certain beliefs. Yeah, we have to take care of ourselves. Now we are saying very nice. So some beliefs are limiting beliefs and some beliefs are empowering beliefs. So just try and see in the chat box that maybe some of them, for example, somebody wrote that I am very emotional, right? Or we have to take care of ourselves, or moody, somewhere maybe, this is a belief that is limiting us in a certain manner. And we will understand how it is limiting us. What about beliefs about others? If you can mention some beliefs about others. Hard work will not earn good salary. Okay. Vijay, you can send a message to everyone. I can see you sending a direct message to me. I think we can send it to everyone so everyone would be able to see. Okay, love to be busy. Okay. Others are very supported and fun to be with. Yes, Kusuma. So great. So this is an empowering belief about others, right? So you have a belief that others are very supportive. People are helpful. Very right. Hard work will earn good salary. Okay, that was another belief. Nowadays people are not sensitive to others. Yes. So Nina is saying that can learn so much from others. Yes. So there are again limiting beliefs and also empowering beliefs. I know that these beliefs have been made by not just the experiences that you've had till 18. There are some experiences that have got added later as well, right? There can be certain experiences that have happened very recently, because of which you have had, for example, when one of you said that, people are not sensitive. So maybe there is something that has happened recently as well. Because you're saying nowadays people are not sensitive to others. So something has recently happened which has made you think like that and believe like that. Yeah. So most of the people don't have the emotions about others, our emotions about others. Absolutely. So see how we are a combination of our belief system. What we are is actually like we can say a combination of the belief systems that we have, and those are the beliefs that make us think and talk. So I'm taking you back to the slides. Yeah, so let's just go back a little back on this slide that we talked about. So on the basis of the beliefs that we have, we create thoughts, and accordingly the emotions are made. So for example, if we have a belief that people are very supportive, so whenever we will ask for help, or we will we will be very open to seek for help from people when we are in a problem, because the thoughts about people is positive. And again, the emotions would be strong. Emotion would be of gratitude, emotion would be of empathy, that yes, I will get help because people are supportive. But if we think that the people are not supportive, they will always take advantage, or they will judge me. Let me take another one. It's a very strong belief a lot of people have, that people will judge me for what I say, people judge me for the way I look, people judge me for the way I come across. Yeah. So I have to be secretive, I have to be cautious while talking to people. So think how your thoughts will emerge because of this belief system. And similarly, the emotions would be that when you are with people, you would might not feel very comfortable, you might not feel very comfortable with strangers, right? This is a example that I wanted to give you to really understand this connection between belief, thoughts, emotions, and then the behavior, right? So now, if we are all here, now the real thing starts off here. Yeah. So I'm there are some comments that are coming in the chat box. Let me quickly have a look on that, if there is something that is there about this topic. So now, as I shared with you, that there are beliefs that are empowering and the beliefs that are disempowering. And what beliefs do is that they are impacting us every day of our life. So they create our personality, they create our expression style, they create our behavior, and of course, they create our entire life. Yeah. So would you like to know? Would you like to understand that how this belief and emotions and thought are creating people's personality and expression style? Would you like to know that? Yeah. And this is how we will connect that how emotional intelligence plays a role in creating our personality. Yeah. So this is the time has come that we talk about how is this connected to emotional intelligence, because there is a belief system that we have which has created a personality. The way we talk now, I'll take another example. So some of the people you see are very expressive. They're very, very expressive, they're very open to sharing their beliefs, they're sharing their what is happening in their life and all of that. Yeah. So somewhere the belief is that even if people judge me, it's okay. Yeah. I do not mind people judging me. I cannot I'm not so worried about people judging me, because that's the way I am. So if this is the belief system, then they will be more expressive, their expression style would be more open. But if the belief system is that people are judging me a lot, and that I should not be talking very, very freely, I don't know what they will talk behind my back, so obviously the expression style would be meek, or the expression style would be lower. So this is how, if you see in your children as well, in your own self as well, if the expression style is very strong or not that strong, there is definitely some emotion down there from your childhood and some belief from your childhood which is still carrying with you, which is still going on with you, and that is why it has created this personality that you have. Yeah. So now, if we talk further about how the personality is made and how this is impacting us, so as I've shared already with you, some of the things that you see in people, in yourself as well, easily trusting others, take time to trust others, or never trust people. Yeah, this is like a different behavior that we see because of the belief system. Some are very flexible, some are flexible in sometimes, not everywhere, but some are not flexible at all. Yeah, some of us are authoritative, some of us are adjusting. Okay, we're not very authoritative, but some of us are compromising, right? So how is this behavior coming? And because of this, all the emotional system also starts getting impacted. Yeah, so now the time has come that we understand that how this is also impacting our life. So I'm sure each one of you can relate to it, that our relationships get impacted, our professional life get impacted, right? Because if we do not trust people so fast, it impacts our relationship. If we are trusting somebody blindly, it impacts our relationship, right? And if we don't have the comfort zone of trust at all, then we are not able to have a healthy and a beautiful relationship. So all of these aspects of our life, which is relationship, professional life, our social life, and also the future opportunities that we get, are getting impacted by the emotions and beliefs we have. So I think there is a lot of background that we have understood to understand what it is, and now the time has come to understand what is emotional intelligence and how is our emotional intelligence impacted by our belief system. So before I tell you what is emotional intelligence, I would like to just give you a brief of emotional intelligence, that what I understand from a very simple perspective, what is emotional intelligence. So your ability to intelligently manage your emotions, your ability to intelligently balance your emotions, your ability to intelligently change your emotions, okay, is what is called emotional intelligence. Yeah, very simply, I think there are a lot of very technical what we call definitions that are there, but with the research that I have done on emotional intelligence, with the kind of work that I'm doing with personality styles and emotional intelligence, and helping people with that, I think this is the most simply that I think I can put it across. So before I move forward, are we on the same page that what is emotional intelligence, or you still think that we need to understand more? Yes, we do need to understand more, but definition wise, I hope we all are clear that what is emotional intelligence. Now there are 5 facets of emotional intelligence, right, in our life. What are the 5 facets that will help us understand how emotionally intelligent we are, and how our beliefs have created this level of emotional intelligence in our own self? Yeah, so now let's understand these 5 facets. So people have social skills, their own self awareness, their own level of motivation, self regulation, that how much can they regulate their emotions, control their emotions, and control their actions and behavior. And the fifth is empathy, right? So these are the 5 facets that create emotional intelligence. And empathy can be low, high. There are 3 levels that can be there. So there can be a above average, average, and below average. But if we dwell a little deeper into it, because I'm sure right now also, if you see, these all are like the broader areas: social skills, self awareness, very very broad terms. Let us go a little deeper into it, and that is where we will be able to understand what is emotional intelligence. So the first one, which we call the self well-being, we talked about here the self regulation, right? So self regulation is where comes in your happiness, your optimism, and your self esteem. Now I want you to write in the chat box that if I were to ask you that where do you stand right now in your happiness, optimism, and self esteem. You can take this as general well being. Okay, all the three are part of general well being. Where would you see yourself standing? And take one thing. Let's take happiness and optimism together. Self esteem still is a very different thing. So can you mention that? Would you say that you are if you think that you are above average, so you can say AV. If you think average, you can say A, And if you think right now you're feeling below average, then you can say B, A. Let's see, where do we stand in this general well-being at this point of time. That okay, so we can see A, B coming in. Yeah, all right. Average. Sanjeev is saying average. Yes, great. Anybody? So it's absolutely fine. So happiness and optimism can also be driven by something that you are facing right now. Okay, so it can be not very coming from behind, but happiness, optimism can be something that's not going right now in your life, and that can be below average at this point of time as well. Now I would like to take up ask you about self-esteem separately. So understand that what is self-esteem. So sometimes we call self-esteem as ego as well, but self-esteem is really something that motivates us. Something is like a self-regulation. So I like to ask you that, do you have a very high self-esteem, again above average, or average, or you feel that it is below average? So when you say below average, think about how confident that you feel if, let's say, you have to go and talk in front of strangers, complete strangers. And that is how you will be able to understand what is the self esteem level. Yeah, can you explain a little, what does self, yeah, so self esteem is that how do you look at your own self? What is your own self image of your own self? So for example, if you feel that you are absolutely perfect, you are somebody who is very confident, somebody who can go and talk in front of anybody, whatever you have to say, and you are not, you don't feel shy at all. So that is what is self esteem for me. Yeah, so think about that. Think about that, how okay, so there is AV coming in here, right? And then there were some A's also that came in. Yeah, so AB stands for above average, right? When you say AB, you mean AV really. Yeah, okay, Kusum, thank you. Thank you. So see how we can see that there is a above average self-esteem that is coming in. And this is where you will see when I will talk to you about the personalities that the problem lies. That is where the problem comes in. Okay, now let me explain you about emotional regulation. So emotional regulation is something, thanks Fatima for sharing. Emotional regulation is that if you are, how much are you in control of your own emotion. So for example, if you somebody says something to you, somebody comes up with something that is criticism to you, and that is something that you don't like the way they are saying, how do you handle that? How much emotional regulation that you have? Do you get very impacted by it, or does not impact you at all, and you're able to, or again, it is average, that sometimes you're able to handle it, but sometimes you're not able to handle it, depending upon what is that the other person is saying, right? So emotional regulation is how much are you in control of your own emotion. So again, you can think about it, that where do you stand, and you can put in again another one, which is impulse control. Yeah, so A for emotional regulation. Thank you. So it has been, I appreciate that you being very very honest, and in fact, by being honest, you will be able to understand that what is your personality. This combination of all these 15 facets that are there in front of you, how, what is that making you as a personality? Because let me tell you that with the research that I have done, out in the combination that this has, in this 15 facets, we are come up with 8 personality styles. There are 8 different personality styles which are there, which can be formed because of the different combinations that happen in these 15 facets, right? So for example, I'm sure you see some people who are very empathetic. Their empathy is so high that if they will, if they come across somebody who is in help, even if they don't have time, even if they don't have money, or even if they don't have this thing, they very patient to listening to somebody. They're able to emote, and feel the same way as the other person is feeling. And I'm sure empathy is something that you understand as well. So again, tell me, is this, are you above average on empathy, or you are average, or you think that you're below average. But because there are some people who do not feel that empathetic, yeah, who feel that, yes, everybody has their own problems and they can deal with it, and I am not there responsible for dealing with their problems. Yeah, so that is also a thought that some of us have about empathy. Yeah, so think about it, think about where do you stand in empathy. Yeah. Another one which I want you to think about is impulse control. So, impulse control is something which is how much self control you have. If, let's say, you are feeling angry, if you are not liking something, are you able to control that? Yeah. Are you able to have that self control that is needed, that I don't say something right now? I wait for the right opportunity to do that. Or you feel that no, saying something straightforward right in front of a person, right in when you're talking to him, it's better, because that is also another thought we have, that why we not being be straightforward. Yeah. Yeah, so the above average is Kusuma is saying, but I feel that a lot of us have that straightforwardness as well. That, if whatever I'm feeling, I want to just say it out. I don't want to hide it, or I don't want to come across as a double faced person, that I have something and I'm not saying it. Yeah? So that's also a thought, that, and think about it. Stress management. Do you get stressed from with smaller things that happen around you? They impact you a lot, or you feel that I am estranged in a bit, that it just does not impact me. If there is somebody who is showing love to me or showing empathy to me, it is not impacting me. So that is what is really stress management. And one of you I just saw has said below average. Now, why I'm taking you for about each of these facets individually is because only then you will understand that what is the combination that emotional intelligence is. Because understand that, okay, now I want to ask you a classic question. So no, now the other ones are very self explanatory, like relationship management. Yeah, so you said stress management, Satya is saying below average. Thank you so much, Satya. Now, if you see the other facets also, you can see they are relationship oriented, because it is emotional perception. Emotional perception is how much are you able to understand other person's emotion. Because what happens is that we understand our own emotion, but we are not able to understand someone else's emotions, right? So that is emotional perception. Emotional expression, we all understand that how emotionally emotive are you. We can talk a lot, by the way. If you have high self esteem, yes, you are very confident and you can talk about work, you can talk about social things and everything, but that does not mean that you have high emotional expression. Because emotional expression is that if there is something you're feeling sad about, or you are hurt, or you are not you feeling failure, are you able to share that with somebody? Are you able to share your hurt and failure or discomfort with somebody? Yeah. So that is emotional expression. So high self esteem and very talkative and confident might not be high on emotional expression as well. So think about it. Yeah. So Sanjeev is saying below average. Thanks for being honest, Sanjeev, because that is what we need today. Honesty with each other. Yeah. Relationship. Is your relationship where do you see your relationship standing? Like, we talked about happiness. Is my happiness above average, below average? Where is your relationship today? Are you happy in your relationship? Yeah. So think about it. Or is it Kusuma is saying above average. But yes, I'm sure relationship something which is very complex. I mean, I if you are saying above average, I am very very happy and very thrilled that you've been able to get this complex thing which is called relationship, because relationship is the most complex emotion, or most complex thing to have. So that is where I am coming from. So emotional management, overall, how much are you able to manage your emotions? How assertive you are. Let's say you want to say no to somebody, you do not like something, you want to say that, I just like we say that, nahi mujhe ye nahi karna hai, please don't do this to me, please do not take me for granted. Yeah. So yes, relationship is very subjective and situational, Sanjeev, and that is what we will talk about when we just in the next slide I'm going to share with you an example and a personality style. And that is when you'll understand that what I mean by relationships here. So all of these adaptability, are you very adaptable, or you think that if I will become adaptable, people will take advantage of me? So these are all the thoughts that I want you to think about. And believe you me, that looking at them, it looks like very simple, but when we go deep and we have to change ourselves in something, that is where the problem comes in. And also I want to tell you, neither above average is good for everything, nor below average. So if you're thinking that above average is very good to have, and it is something which is a great level of emotional intelligence, no, it's not, right? For example, I'll give you one example for it. So for example, if you have a very high self esteem, the self esteem is above average. That means if somebody gives you feedback, if somebody gives you feedback, you will take it as criticism, because a very high self esteem turns into more of a ego kind of a emotion, that you feeling hurt when somebody points a finger at you, or somebody says that, no, you did not do this in the right fashion. Yeah. So think about it. Above self esteem, a high self esteem might not be a great thing for being emotionally intelligent, because you will create emotions of anger, you will create emotions of hurt. Yeah. You will create emotions of unhappiness, because you feel that in this environment people are pointing finger at me, and I'm not comfortable, because I like to be appreciated always. A high self esteem person always likes to be appreciated. Yeah. So think about it. Not always having a high above average also is good. Of course, below average is also not good. But what we are looking at is balancing in certain areas. So now, without further ado, let me give you an example, because I think, I'm sure each one of you are trying to understand. With an example, you will be able to understand that what personality has what kind of emotional intelligence, right? And I'm sure each one of you will be able to relate to one of these personalities. So, because we have 8 personality styles, but I'm going to be talking about the four here the four key ones only, because it will we need a much more detailed time to talk about all 8. Yeah. So let me give you the first one. Okay, all right. So here is where the real interesting work starts. One personality style, and I'm not naming it, because this is really when you go through an assessment, then I'll be able to tell you the exact personality style. So ambitious and controlling. There is a personality style which is ambitious and controlling. Now, uh, they want to control everything and everyone around them. Yeah, they do not trust others very fast, so they are always following up. They're always checking on people. They're always trying to ask that, have you done this right or not? So those are the kind of things. Anxious if things don't go their way. Try and relate to this. Yeah. So there is in emotional intelligence terms, the self regulation is very high. That they want everything to be in their control. Fear of failure, it gives them stress. So again, stress management terms, they would be average or below average, because they have a lot of fears that nobody should say that I have done this wrong, or I have to be extra cautious that what I'm doing. Doesn't like to be proven wrong, and blames others for things. So the moment they feel that there is something that is coming wrong or going wrong, there is a defense mechanism that comes in. There is a strong defense mechanism that comes in there, which stops them from being accepting or taking feedback. Yeah. So first of all, are you able to relate to somebody with this personality style? Yeah. Is there somebody you are able to think of who is very ambitious and controlling? There are a lot of positives as well, my dear. I have only written about the problem areas here, because I want you to understand that how one of my past bosses, yes, I'm sure some of us would have had in our life a boss like that, for sure. But then, some I want you to understand and recognize that, is any of you is feeling somewhere connected to this. None of us does this intentionally. Please understand, there is a background of belief system which is what makes us do like this. Yeah. But there is, I'm sure, one of you, or some of you who are able to relate that this is what happens to us. Now if we go back to the emotional intelligence, yeah, and I, this is where I want to involve you and ask you the question: which of the facets you think are disturbed for this personality style? Can I ask you, which of the facets you feel that they should work on? So fear of failure does create stress for me. Thank you, Kusuma, for sharing that. There was another comment in the chat box which I missed. Let me just see. So there is uh, yeah. So my question here to you is that where do you see, which of the facets that you see being, a bit here and there, or bit out of control for this? I'll give you an example. Self-esteem is definitely above average for this particular. Yes, thanks, Anjana. You got it right. So self-esteem is definitely, has to be managed or balanced. If Yes, so fear of failure creates stress. Ganesh is saying. So there is where, so stress management has to be balanced. Emotional regulation has to be balanced. Because what happens is that these people are very energetic and enthusiastic, very very the moment they pick up something or take up a task, they completely get emotionally connected to that task. And that is where, if the task starts going here and there, they start throwing tantrums, they start throwing anger, right? They do not like that at all. Yeah, so that is where the problem is. Yes, somebody said assertiveness. Absolutely, assertiveness for them is not just above average, in fact even more than that. And in fact, these people, when they talk, they come across a bit rude as well. They come across it as a bit very very strong and overbearing also sometimes, because the assertiveness is not balanced, but assertiveness is very high. Anjana is saying adaptability. So is adaptability average or below average? Let me ask you this question.
Below average.
Below average, absolutely. So this is, I'm so happy that you are able to connect to emotional intelligence and how emotional intelligence has created personalities. But yes, this is only understanding. You know, actually, awareness is the first thing after which we can start working. That why are we like that? What has happened in our experiences, or what is our belief system which has created this? Because ideally, to this particular person, anybody would say that you should change, my dear. You should not have fear. You should not. You should trust people. You should be adaptable. Yeah, it's very very simple to say that, but it's not. It's easier said than done. Because when we start working on emotional intelligence with people, we go deeper into, when one has to go deeper into their mindset, into their behavior. Yeah. So let me take another example, and I'm sure this time you will understand very fast and very quickly, because we have another, I am going to take another 15 minutes, but this is going to get very interesting from here, because you will be able to relate to your own personality and how your emotional intelligence is. Where is your emotional intelligence disbalanced at this point of time? So I'm sure each one of you have come across very perfectionist people, analytical and very specific. They do everything in a particular manner. By the way, I want to go back to the ambitious and controlling. And as we were talking about how the relationship is getting impacted, because I'm sure you understand that if we have a personal life disturbed, or the relationship is haywire, it start impacting our professional life as well, right? So let me ask you this: what are the kind of issues, or what is the relationship management or relationship for these people? Can you tell me? In facets, we have relationship. So what do you think would be the relationship is challenged with the ambitious and controlling people? And if one of you can unmute yourself and share, it would be great. Do you think it would be a very smooth relationships that they would be having? Yeah.
Of
Now,
course not.
yeah. So now I'll tell you, one of the things that I want to tell you here is, because I work with people on relationship management. I one of my forte is working with people on relationships. because I feel our entire life is revolving around relationship with our own self, with our family, with our parents, and it has impacted our personality a lot. So believe you me, the spouse, the partner that we get is absolutely an opposite personality. And what I'll do is I'm going to get to this one, the last one, instead of going to the second and third, and then we will come back on second and third. So, generally, a first personality which we talked about, which is authoritative and controlling and ambitious, generally they have life partners who are accommodating and polite. And that is where the problem comes in, that the accommodating and a polite person is always getting adaptable. Their adaptability is above average. So they're adapting to everything. So the controlling person is not adapting at all, and they are going too much into the adaptability. So they want to be supportive and help everyone. They do not express emotions easily. Now imagine a high self-esteem person having a relationship with a polite and accommodating person, where the high self-esteem person is so expressive, so commanding, dominating, and here there is a person who is emotionally less expressive, right? They're not able to express what they feel. They're getting anxious, and that people do not support them, because when they need support, so they're always there to support others, but when they need support, people are not there. That is what their belief is, and that's how they're feeling very disgusted, very very down, inside of them. Non-acceptance from others give them stress. Yeah. And they feel stressed when judged and criticized by others. So imagine that what is happening to this particular personality style. And if we look at the facets again, so here you will see, yeah, I'm sure here you can relate to it, that if there is somebody with this personality style, they will be above average in empathy. Let's see what would be their above average. So their above average would be empathy. So is above average empathy good? Would we call it good now? Yeah. No. The here is where we need to balance empathy with them. Relationship management is also above average. They want to do anything to keep the relationship. They don't want to lose a relationship. They would go to any extent and bend and become very very adaptable. Yeah. And very very compromising for that matter. Yeah. So adaptability is very high, but high adaptability is not good here at all. Yeah. So that is what we are talking about. Self motivation would be low. They always look forward for others to motivate them. They're always dependent on other and looking outside for motivation. So these are the kind of things that we need to work upon when we talk about a person with this personality style. Yeah. So now I'll go to the second one which we were talking about. I hope we all are on the same page. Am I able to see? I'm talking about something which is a little technical as well, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So guys, yeah, oh great. Thank you, Ganesh, for saying that. I hope that we are on the same page, because only then we will come to the solution, because we are right now talking about the problem in hand. But what is that is going to be the solution. Now, and I'm sure each one of you are able to relate to some parts of a personality style. You might not be able to relate to the complete one, and that is why I'm saying that an individual assessment is must. An individual emotional intelligence assessment and personality assessment has to be taken to know what is your exact style. But then, this is like the broader styles that I'm talking about. So, a perfectionist person who wants to do everything right by themselves does not trust others to do things right. So they want to take everything in their hands. Anxious if things don't go as per the plan. We see them jittery. कहीं पर जाना है तो पहले से ही they will be so jittery and anxious. Chalo, let's do go. You will be getting late. And I'm sure if you have a life partner like that, and you are yourself like that, you are able to relate to this anxiety that I'm talking about. Yeah. Fear of wrong decisions, so they take a lot of time to take decision, a lot of analysis, lot of research. Sometimes it just becomes too irritable for themselves or their partners, that what are we doing, we taking so long, and over analyze things and make them complex as well, because they have anything that goes wrong, they take it really to their heart, and really to the emotions of anger, a fear, or feeling insecure that if I go wrong, how would I look at how would people look at me? So these are the emotional intelligence facets that go wrong there. And if I quickly go to the emotional intelligence facets, I would say that one of the things that are low in them is optimism. And this is what I want to start with. You might go ahead and tell me about some more as well. But optimism is low because they feel that things will go wrong. I can't leave things on chance. I can't just be, very careless about things, because I need to be, people would not support me and things might go wrong. So that is where optimism is below average here. Yeah. What else, guys? What about empathy? I'm asking you the easier ones. So what about empathy for these people? Is empathy high or below average? Yes, Anjana, you're right. So empathy somewhere would be below average. Yes, because they, absolutely, it's difficult for them. Similarly, the social awareness. So they would not be so social. They would not be very, open to people. They would not be, they would feel a bit reserved. They're not, very, very, talkative or very comfortable in yes, in the social scenario. Low adaptability as well. Absolutely. Even I would say average self motivation, not high self motivation, but average self motivation. Yeah. So these are the things, but then impulse control is the highest. It's actually above average. So if they have decided to start going for a walk, or they would not show their emotions on their face. If they have decided that, okay, I'm not going to speak and I'm going to just weigh my words, so that is very, very high for. And obviously that makes them look as cold as well, because if you're so strong and so very proper and correct in what you say, then people are a little scared that kuch galat na bol do yaar, I don't know what, how he will take it. So this is where the issue comes in for this personality style, and that's how we work on these facets really. Now, influential and social, this is another last style that we are going to be talking about. And generally they come across very happy. So if I would ask you that the facet that is very high with them is their happiness facet is very high, because they want to be liked by people. They're very happy go lucky. They talk a lot. They're emotionally very expressive. But then they do get stressed if people talk negative about them, because the optimism is too high. The optimism is above average, and they are looking at optimism everywhere. But there might not be optimism in some cases. What if somebody gives them a feedback, or tells them that this is not right, you might not want to do it in this fashion. Yeah. And or say that I don't think that you're doing everything right. So that stresses them, that if people are talking negative about them, they want to achieve fame, and want people to basically know them. So there is a fame, this thing, so they would always want to be over the top, or wanting to do things differently. And of course they feel guilty for their mistakes, and they don't think that people want they want to look negative in front of people. Now these are the, if these are, this is what this personality style is, and this is the fears, insecurities, or emotions of these people, then what is really going to happen is that they will strongly deep rooted person, but overall giving a kind of a impression that everything is hunky dory, everything is happy. And there is this too much of pleasing. For example, social awareness also, they will try to talk a lot and please people too much, which is a very high social awareness and social acceptance that they're looking for. Yeah. So now, at the end of this, I want to ask you a question. I have shared with you about four personality styles and their emotional intelligence facets, and where is that they are going wrong, or where they might be doing fine in emotional intelligence. Where do we need to work upon, or where things are absolutely fine and the working is not needed. I want to ask you something. What is that is the top of the mind thought that you have right now, which is that, do you think emotional intelligence and working on your emotional intelligence important? This is what I want to ask you. And
Of
anything else that,
course, of course.
right? And Aarti, why do you say that? What is the reason that you getting that it should be worked upon?
Asta, after listening to this, like this small webinar, I've just realized that it's never too great to be too optimistic, or it's not too great to be above average. Sometimes being average is the best thing. But now you will tell us whether it's good to be average in all the aspects so that one can balance out. I want answers from you now. Over to
Sure.
you.
Thank you so much. So it's like a summary that Aarti has done for what I wanted to ask, but I still want one more person to share. Any one of you, why do you feel emotional intelligence is important by after understanding what we've talked about today? Ashish is saying great observation, Aarti.
Credit goes to Asta for conducting such a great session.
It is I can tell you, I have made a lot of reiterations changes to make it easier, because otherwise it can look like a very technical thing, to handle oneself and others. Absolutely. So I would like to say here that thank you so much for sharing and being so patient, because we are coming to the fag end where I want to tell you that why emotional intelligence is important. Because please understand that each one. So somebody is saying, I think lots of diseases depends on emotion. Absolutely, to become a better version of oneself. Thank you so much. So basically we are right now, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि हम एक घड़ा है जो स्ट्रांग हो चुका है. हमारी इमोशंस, हमारा पर्सनालिटी एक घड़े की तरह है, जो कि अपने आप में हमें लगता है कि यही ठीक है, यही बेस्ट तरीका है, एंड दिस इज हाउ वी आर लीडिंग आवर लाइफ. बट there is an adjustment needed, and that is what we call as balance. I feel that the life is always beautiful when there is balance of something. For example, if you are too perfectionist, then you will not be able to enjoy the small things of life. You will be actually overbearing on your partner who wants to enjoy small things. You will be over planned and would not be at peace when you're going out somewhere, when you're around people, right? Would you not want to want to enjoy every moment of your life? Yeah. Similarly, if you are very social and influential, that's very good, your communication is very good. But the moment somebody, you do not get what you are looking for, it just puts you down in the pit, because the emotional regulation is low, right? And it just, yeah, the self esteem is average, so it just makes you very very sad. In fact, influential and social people are either very happy or very sad. Yeah, and their these mood swings impact their family, impact their children, impact their partners as well, also their team members as well. In fact, if you look at it this absolutely professionally, imagine if this is the personality style we have, then how it is, impacting the team members that we have. Yeah. So all the facets that we talked about, if we work on our own self, we will be able to create what we started with, really. And I'm going to come back to it again, that we will be able to create a better professional life. And this is what we started with. I'm going back to that slide. That was our, that we will be able to achieve a better professional excellence. We might be successful, but there is excellence, there is something that might be still missing, which you, if you get that, you will be like, okay, now I feel happy, now I'm satisfied with what I'm doing. Yeah. Similarly, in your relationships, I can assure you that working on relationship is a everyday task. It is not a one day task. If any of you feel that you have reached that level, uh, there will be another challenge that would come in, and then again there will be a you know uh, kind of a roller coaster, if not roller coaster, but ups and downs and arguments and opinion gaps, because एक अभी ये हिंदी में बोलूंगी मैं ये बात कि भगवान ने ये एक्चुअली जोड़ियां मिलाई है जहाँ पे हम अलग अलग हैं. The two partners are always separate. Always, 100% of cases that I've done, they're always opposite. Yeah. So there is this roller coaster that keeps on going, and also leading a balanced and purposeful life. So when we learn which area to adjust, which area to lower down, which area to enhance, and that is what is done by working on your own self, working with your knowing yourself first of all. And so how you can do that is basically first trying and understanding that who you are, what is your emotional intelligence quotient, understanding your personality, your perception style and your expression style, understanding what are these underlying beliefs because of which you are like this. So if any of you feel कि मैं क्यों इतनी adaptable हूँ, why am I so fearful that I will lose relationships? If any of you feel like that, we have to go to the underlying belief for that, yeah, and learn to change your belief system. So emotional intelligence will be achieved by working on your own self individually, and with the help of coaching, counseling, and this program that I'm talking about, which is actually a 1.5 month program, which is called, Changing Your Life's Orbit, in which we start with personality assessment and then we reach to each and every. So it's like a delayering, going to the belief system and delayering and working on the emotional intelligence facets, which are very, very important for you to work upon. Yeah. So with that, I like to say that my solution to you is get to know yourself better. Maybe some of you have already gotten to know, and that would help you in changing your life's orbit. But some of you who want to go deeper in understanding that what is that your personality style is, what is your emotional intelligence is, me and Ashish, we are bringing something to you, okay? And this something is an assessment, okay? We are bringing an assessment to you. So first of all, how many of you would like to know deeper yourself? You want to know your personality, your exact personality, and your exact emotional intelligence level question. So you can, okay, let me take a bit of time here. Okay, great, great. All right.
Asta, I have a question here.
Yes, please, Aarti.
Asta, like the four personalities which you told, what I feel is that if I think about myself or people around me, none of them, or in fact, I myself, I don't feel like see myself fitting in all the
Yes,
categories. Like if one
absolutely.
personality, I feel that I'm influential and that happy-go-lucky, but then
Right.
I feel some of the points are missing there. So one
Mm, mm.
cannot be put in boxes in these personalities.
Absolutely. So, as I shared with you, I just picked up the four broad ones, right? I when I started talking about personalities, I
Mm-hmm.
said that none of you would fit in absolutely in one of them. Okay, so there is that is why a complete assessment would be needed to really understand the combination, the emotional intelligence facet, and then we will be able to tell you what is your exact one. Okay, so this is only a broad one to understand, and able to relate to it. Then only you could relate the facets, right? So this was more like a from an understanding point of view. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah. So now, if you are interested, so like I like to share with you that all the people who have said yes, we are going to be sharing with you a link for taking your personality. It would be having some questions, and you can. Okay, so somebody is asking Sanjeev. Sanjeev, I'll come to this question. I'm going to open the forum to questions for sure, and we are on time. By the way, I thought that is going to take a little longer, but we are 5 minutes behind the schedule. I mean, the schedule. That's about it. So, we are going to be sharing a link with you, which is a link which will give you your emotional intelligence facet, and also not just that, you will be also getting a report from me, which will tell you the personality style, and another half an hour discussion option, because you would want to understand and discuss as well. It's not just a kind of piece of paper which you get. It's going to be a a 4 5 pager report, But yes, that will make you understand, but you might still have questions and you might want to know that how to work upon it, what are the things that you want to understand deeply. So on at just a very very nominal cost of 1000 rupees only, we want to offer you this particular assessment. And you can we will I mean, if in case you still are interested, that's fine. If any of you would say that no, we are not, that's absolutely fine. But all the people who have said yes, we will send you the link of the assessment as well, and the payment as well. And if you get that back to us, then we will start the process of assessment, and we will go ahead and share with you the assessment. Besides that, I want to take your questions as well, and also say that the next session, do not forget to attend the next session as well, because we will go one step ahead. Though there would be a lot of new people who would be joining in the next session, so we will have some background and some repetition from this session to start the background. But we will, for all of you who have joined in today, we will go a next step as well, and you will be able to understand even better, because then you would have your own personality assessment report also with you, and you would know exactly where do you stand, and then the solutions can be also be very very clear to you. So that is the last thing that I wanted to share from my end. Now I'm opening the forum to questions, because I'm sure that you have questions. So first of all, one question that I'm taking from Sanjeev right now is how difficult it is to change at a grown up age. Very very good question, Sanjeev. It is definitely difficult. I'm not saying that it's easy. It's easier to change at the earlier level. As I said, that our personality is pretty much, strongly made now. So what we do is we start from expression, because psychologically also it has been said and understood that expression is formed between 12 and 18. So it is formed later. Personality gets formed, the perception gets formed between the age of 3 to 12. So expression is what we work first upon, because that's easier to work upon. And then the moment your expression changes, it starts changing your perception about people as well. So for example, let's say if you have an expression style where you don't open up people with people because you feel that they would judge me. So I will, as a coach, go deeper into why, from where this thought of judgment coming in, from where this belief coming in. We'll work on that belief system and work on changing that, so your expression changes. Now when your expression will change and you'll become open to people, receptive to people, obviously your perception will start changing about people. You will start trusting them more, you will start accepting them more. I'm not saying trust everybody, I'm not saying that at all, but you will start becoming more observant and more accepting of people, that okay, yes, there are some people who are who can be trusted, and some people who I will trust with caution. But if you have right now the belief that people are not supportive, one should not trust people, one should not believe one of what people are saying, and think of what is there in the background, then you are actually shoving away, or you are actually putting away the people who are good people as well. You are maybe having difficulty in having a great relationship as well because of this belief. Yeah, so think about it. So definitely changing at this age is a difficult process, and that is why the external push, see the concept of the orbit, that there is an external, internal, and more energy that is needed to change at this point of time, for sure. Yeah. More questions, guys? Anybody has more questions?
Asta, I have a question.
Yes.
The link which you'll be sharing with us,
Oh,
can
oh,
I
sorry,
send that
sorry,
link?
sorry. I'm sorry. One second, one second. I will come to your question, but Ashish is saying that we have to take feedback first, because what happens is then we don't get your feedback, and it's only the questions after questions we. So yeah, thanks, Sanjeev. I hope I have been able to answer. So Ashish,
Maybe,
over
yeah,
to you.
maybe
Please.
Asta, we can take this one and then we can break for feedback.
Okay, okay, all right. Yeah, go ahead, my dear. I missed who was the person asking the question. Go ahead.
Asta, it was me, Aarti. And
Yes,
first of all, giving the feedback, it was a brilliant session. I liked every part of it. And I'll be filling in the link. One thing which I wanted to ask, since I find this quite quite engaging. So I was just thinking if I can share this link with my friends, and whosoever wants to pay, and that person can join.
Absolutely, they can. Absolutely, because the moment they, share, fill out the details, I will be able to understand their personality. And in any case, I'm going to connect with each one of you on an individual basis, right? So there is no,
Okay.
it's not just going to be, you filling out and I sending you an email. It's not that, because I believe that if the change process starts from an individual working, yeah, a group session definitely helps in building awareness and initiating our mind towards something, but change is an individual process for sure. Thank you so much. Thanks for even thinking of sharing it with your friends. And that thought was great, Aarti.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Ashish, over to you.
Thanks, Asta. Thank you so much for this awesome session. I'll request you, we will now pause and take some feedback. So the link to the feedback form is being shared in your chat. So please it takes less than a minute to share your feedback. And once we have your feedback, then we will resume with the question and answers. And once you have shared the feedback, please type done in the chat so that we know that you have shared your feedback. The link has been put up. Please share your feedback. It takes less than a minute.
So let me have my best smiling face over here so that I've been talking very serious stuff. So let me
Now,
try.
while people are sharing their feedback, I would like to really appreciate Asta for a superb session that you have delivered and unraveling the mystery of the emotions. I say emotions are energy in motion, and if we are aware of our emotions, then, we can do a lot more in our lives. Like you talked about professional excellence and happiness and purpose. So a lot can be achieved.
Thank you,
And,
Ashish.
yeah, thank you. And I would also like to take this time to appreciate the active participation by all the people who were there in this webinar, and also appreciate the honesty with which you shared your feedback, when Asta was asking the questions. I think that was incredibly honest. Personally speaking, there was a point of time in my life when I had put a lid on my emotions and I was not feeling any emotions. I lost my father at an early age when I was still young. And to deal with that pressure and to deal with that stress, I think I went into a space where I would not allow myself to feel emotions, and that didn't serve me well. And it is only when I heard few TED Talks, particularly by Dr. Bren Brown, on feeling the feeling and vulnerability, I started experiencing my emotions and, became a lot more happier and, mindful awareness, and a lot of things happened with that. So I really appreciate everybody being in touch with their emotions and sharing that. Thanks, Kusuma, for sharing the feedback. Thanks, Sanjeev ji. We will appreciate if you can quickly do the feedback and update. Then we'll resume the session again with question and answers. I'm sure you have interesting observations and insights to share. Thanks, Aarti ji. Really appreciate. Great observations also. Thanks, Neena ji.
Questions, guys. Anything that you have in mind?
Yeah. So let's wait for a few more. Thanks, Jayashree. And we have also shared, some of you are joining us for the first time. So we have just shared the link to our WhatsApp community. And this is where we share updates. And it's a very active community which promotes living mindfully. It's a mindful living community where we do actively engage. So you can, in case you would like to stay connected with us, you can click on the WhatsApp chat. And we have also shared the link to our YouTube channel, as I was sharing earlier. It's on our YouTube channel that you will get the videos of all of our previous sessions, Dar Se Dream Tak, and the financial peace sessions that we have done. This session will also be put up there. So, in case you want to refer to your friends, like Aarti ma'am was saying, you can refer it to your friends. We'll be sharing the links with everybody so that you can share. Thanks, Erbani.
I would. Okay, so there is a question that is coming in. Does one's personality change with age? I found. Okay, one second. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna read the
that's an
question.
interesting question,
That
Shashi.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
over
I
to you,
found I
Asif. Yeah.
started as one. Yeah, yeah. So you know, as I said, that the personality is because of the belief system. So if beliefs will change, the personality will definitely change. Yeah, some of the core values don't change. For example, I feel if there is a person who is a very well planned person, so that is like a core value that they have. If they are above average in that, we they might not become below average. Yeah, we might bring them to a little average. That okay, don't plan in everything, plan in the critical things, but don't be planned for everything. But then that is exactly why what we call evolution, and that is why we are talking about here. Agar change possible nahi hota, to hum abhi यहाँ पे, then it would have been this thing. So but then again I would say change for some people is a faster process, some people is a slower process. If you are a strong a left brain person, which is what we say call the controlling personality or the perfectionist personality, that is more left brain centric, and they change and on a slower pace. But yes, some the right brain personalities, they're more flexible, they're more lucid, so that is where the change happens on a little faster pace. That's the only difference. And also one thing I like to say, guys, here, one of the things that I'm noticing now, a lot of queries that I get, a lot of okay, there is okay, I hope you can see me now. The moment I go on the chat box, the video goes off. So I want to say here that a lot of queries I receive is from parents who are concerned about their teenagers. They're concerned about their children. Yes, it is important to work with children. It's important to have them as a balanced child. But my question goes back to all of you: that are we balanced parents? Are we emotional intelligent parents? Because believe you me, whichever the child when comes to me, I can see that it's like the impressions of the parenting that are on them, and that is why they are facing this challenge. So one more benefit that you should look at getting from becoming emotionally intelligent is better parenting. Because believe you me, nobody taught us parenting in India. I mean, we we have to really work on parenting to be a balanced parent for sure. Yeah. So with that, I think if there is not any more question, I would just see there is. So one of the questions is, our personality keeps changing on an ongoing basis. Kusuma is saying yes. I'm curious to know the answer of the question asked by Aarti. Is being average in all the traits the best state of mind? No, no, not in all the traits. Not average in all the traits. Yeah, no. It is going to be trait dependent. It is going to be facet dependent. Yeah. If somebody is below average in something, we will bring them to an average, and even above average is not good somewhere. So it is all facet dependent, that what is the right mix for somebody. Yeah. All right, great. So with that, I think I'm done, Ashish, and can't see any other question as well. And I'm so thrilled that we could connect. It is really, I'm feeling that there is all of us who were here have definitely been able to connect at some level, and it's time now that we change our life's orbit by knowing our own self better. Yeah, and believe you me, I have also done it for myself. If you would have met me 10 years back, I was of somebody who was very emotional. I'm a influencing and social person, so quite talkative, very emotional, very concerned about what people would say about me. It was helping me in being a trainer for sure, because I was not shy of talking to strangers. But there were a lot of things. So each one of us has to work on ourselves to evolve and become a balanced person, is what I'll just like to finish with. And over to you, Ashish. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you once again, Astha, for bringing out so many nuances, of emotional intelligence. Normally, we look at only at one level, and you took us down multiple layers, and within each layer there are so many nuances. So very happy, very insightful. I'd also like to hear comments from some of the participants. What were your takeaways? What is it? Some of you have actively participated, some of you have been silent. So let's take a minute or two to hear from you, either in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and speak. What has been your takeaway? What is it that you liked? What is it that appealed to you? Uh, there is a question from Meenakshi to you, Asta. Ma'am, want to know what is your greatest strength? Asta, are you there? I think there is some disruption. Maybe Asta will come back to respond to that, Meenakshi. Otherwise, we will, when she's connecting with you, maybe you can ask her. Any other questions and any other comments, if anybody has got, we'll be happy to take. Any takeaways you have? Was the learning valuable to you? In case this was valuable, you can give us a thumbs up, or you can make a smiley in the chat. Give us something.
Ashish, I would like to say something.
Yes,
This is
yes.
Kusuma here.
Yes, Kusuma.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for the invitation in the WhatsApp. It was a nice session with Asta. I was looking forward to knowing, couple of things about myself and know more better from where I am. And I think I really got a great two takeaways. One is that I figured out that fear of failure is what causes stress. I was not very sure why I get into that uncomfortable state at times at office. And that statement really it touched me and it found very relevant. So that was one takeaway. Second was, I think always as a child, I have been brought up in a culture where good marks, being a topper and things like that. And today when that sheet was there, I was happy that some places I could get to know that I am below average because of the stress levels. And then later when she when Asta reveals that being above average also is a problem, I was like having a hearty laugh to myself. So that's a very nice way that she's put the whole thing, that you ask the questions, the way you assess, and then you get to know, oh, being above also is a problem. So it's not that always being at the top is the best thing. So I really liked Aarti's observations and her questions. I had bingo same question, and I was like, wow, she has asked it. Okay, I don't need to ask. So yeah.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much
Asta.
for sharing, Kusuma. That was wonderful.
Can I please have the link? Don't have the link for the form that you had sent.
The feedback form, Sandhya?
Yeah, Sandhya this side.
Yeah, feedback form. You're asking for the link to the feedback form?
No, not for the feedback form. For the personality form that you said you will be.
Yeah, so that will be sharing with you, Sandhya. You can, if you have typed yes, you can just say yes, that you're interested in personality assessment.
Yes, I've typed yes.
Okay,
yes.
Then we will be getting in touch.
There's a separate mail that we'll be sharing with you, Sandhya.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Asta, I spoke pretty nice about your session. I think Ashish will transfer it to you so that I don't repeat it.
Yeah. I in between wasn't there, but I will definitely ask him, Sandhya.
It was very nice. Thank you.
Sorry, Kusuma, right? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
hi Ashish and Asta. So thank you for the wonderful session. It was really, really very impressive session. And so one is that I could really relate to what personality I am from, and then the different characteristics of the each personality. So that was like really a great learning. And also another thing, Asta, I really liked it about it, like a belief system. Many times we think it's only our core value. We develop the personality because of a core value, but our belief system really impacts so much on our personality. Was a great learning. Yeah. So it was a really wonderful session, and definitely would like to go further and understand the deep-rooted, how we can really become a better version of ourselves, by learning this at a great length. Yeah, thank you so much, Ashi. Thank you, Asta. It was a wonderful session.
Thank you, Nina, for such kind words.
Thank you, Anjana, for your feedback. Thanks, Sarbani. Thanks, Fatima. very encouraging feedback. I'm glad, this session has added a lot of value. Personally, one of the takeaways for me was the nuances which are there, in each personality. It is, though Astha spoke about 4 dominant styles, so 4 broad categories, the mix and match is what is very interesting, and bringing that awareness to start. And, very interesting point Astha made was the starting point is awareness about our own emotions. And then, once we start observing our own emotions, then we are in a better position to observe them in others also. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for participating actively. Thank you very much for joining us. Please spread the word around. As you know, we are meeting again next Saturday, 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. So please spread the word around in your friends. Join us, use the WhatsApp link to stay connected with us, like us on YouTube, follow us on social media, and we'll be happy to stay connected and walk on this journey of making 2021 different, purposeful, happier, and more energetic for everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Astha. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in this session.
Take care. Thanks. Signing off, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.